Hey guys, what is going on? A lot has happened since the last time I made a video. Um, First of all, you probably think I look different. I have glasses on now and I have braids. And then you see the little Georgetown flag and the Temple alumni flag right there. Last time I made a video, I believe I had just, or maybe I've made a video since then, but one of the last videos I watched, I was still waiting for graduation from Temple, obviously from that flag right there. It says I've graduated from Temple. I've moved to Georgetown University, get my graduate degree in journalism. I just started in August, last week of August. I currently live in Maryland now. My apartment's in Maryland, and then I go to school. I have classes in the DC campus and the Virginia campus, so I'm just everywhere. But yeah. So the braids, I just moved to school, so I didn't really know what to do with my hair, so I got my hair braided. So yeah, and then the glasses. Try to keep this story short. In the middle of July, I found out I had an eye infection from wearing my contacts too much, if there is such a thing. Yeah, so my eyes were really screwed up. I had like patches of bacteria in my eye. It was really, really disgusting. I had to take antibiotics for like a month or something, and it really wasn't fun. So my doctor told me, to lay off of contacts for like a month after I'm taking the medicine, but now I'm just off of contacts for a while. I might not wear contacts till sometime next year. Like I want nothing to do with them. So yeah, so that's why I'm wearing glasses. That's why I have the braids. If my background looks different than before, that's why, because I'm in a totally different place. I used to be in Philly, and now I'm in Maryland. So, as with most of my other videos, this is going to be a Phantom Love Never Dies video. Nothing really has happened new. Well, they're having the premiere of Love Never Dies in Denmark, like right before Halloween. So that's new. But, they don't speak English in Denmark, so I don't know what they're saying. So the few promotional things I have seen, I don't know what they're saying. It's nice to see the images, but I don't know what they're saying, so I really can't give you feedback on that. But that is something new. Love Never Dies is in Denmark, and it's premiering next month. Also, in one of the last videos I made, I had really just expressed, well, not the last video, in one of the videos I made earlier this year, I expressed my disgust with, the Australian cast of Love Never Dies. And then I believe I posted a video response to me actually seeing the Australian Love Never Dies, the DVD version. So, my thoughts have changed with Love Never Dies Australia after watching it a few times and kind of just letting it sink all in. I have appreciated Love Never Dies Australia a lot more than I thought I ever would. Would I prefer the London version? Probably so. But I appreciate it for what it is. I still really don't like Ben. Ben's voice still irks the crap out of me, but I'm really in love with Anna. I really love her so much. Yeah, a lot of times when I watch the DVD, I skip past till I hear you sing, because Ben's voice, I just will never get used to that. After Ramin being the premier Phantom for Love Never Dies and hearing his fantastic voice, and then you get Ben, it's just like such a drastic change. Like I'll tolerate him for the scenes he's in with other people, which is basically every other scene except for Till I Hear You Sing. But it's just him singing like that on his own. It's just not fun for me. So I usually don't watch it. I watch Beneath the Moonlit Sky a lot because who doesn't love Beneath the Moonlit Sky? I watch the whole thing a lot. I just don't watch Till I Hear You Sing because it annoys the crap out of me. But yeah, I appreciate Love Never Dies Australia for just it being the version to finally, it being the Love Never Dies version that I'm finally seeing. Because, like I told you, I've been with Love Never Dies ever since news started buzzing about it in mid-2009, in the London premiere, the Australian premiere, and I guess I'll pay attention to whatever I can for the Denmark premiere. But I've been with it the whole way. So for to finally be able to see it in its entirety was really important to me. So I really appreciate it for what it did for me. And, for finally telling me part 2 of the story of The Phantom of the Opera. Somebody, I guess I have like a mini little presence of being a Phantom fan on YouTube, because I often get a lot of, not a lot, but a good number of comments from Phantom or Love Never Dies fans, or people who are in love with both, and they comment on my videos. So someone had asked me, I can't remember where it was, whether it was on Tumblr, Twitter, or YouTube, or Facebook. I can't remember where it was, but somebody asked me how would I feel about a Phantom 3. And I'm like, well, what the hell would Phantom 3 be about if there's no Christine? Everyone knows the main piece of the story is the Phantom loving Christine. She's dead now. What the hell is it going to be about? I guess it could be about him raising Gustav. But really, how are you going to make that into a play with Christine, the main character, being dead? I probably wouldn't be that interesting. If that was like, I don't know. I'm really into fan fiction too. Fanfiction.net has some fantastic Phantom stories. They have some really crappy ones, but they have some really good ones. There are a few authors that produce Phantom stories all the time that I follow all the time. Like, I subscribe to their alerts, so every time they put up a new Phantom Phantom story, I get an alert in my email and I'm able to read it. So I'm really into fan fiction. Some people put up some fantastic stories. Some people put up some crappy stories. I guess somebody could do something like that where they can make a Phantom 3 and post it as a story on fanfiction.net, or just post it somewhere online. But I don't think there will be enough for there to be a Phantom 3. A lot of fan fiction I have been reading is, it kind of like fills the gap between, Phantom 1 is here and then Phantom 2 is 10 years later. What happened in 10 years for both Phantom and Christine. I like a lot of those pieces. A lot of other pieces I do read are just like continuations after Love Never Dies if Christine had lived, or continuations after the first Phantom if Christine never went with Raoul, or if she changed her mind, like the premise is as the premise is told in Beneath the Moon Sky and Love Never Dies, and the Phantom had actually stayed. Like, I love stories like that where there's like alternate things that can happen with the whole storyline. But a Phantom 3, like, no. Sorry, I kind of got on like I'm in my like pajamas mode. I've been doing homework all day. Ugh. Anyway, but I don't think there's enough material to be a Phantom 3. Like, like I said, you can make that a fan fiction, but it's funny. There are a lot of Phantom stories on fanfiction.net that don't include Christine, and I just don't read them. I'm like, how the hell are you not going to include her? Like, what? Like, what is the story going to be about then? The Phantom just hanging out? And then, you know what I really hate? I know this is kind of like an everywhere video. I'm sorry, but I just really wanted to make a video since I have time. I really hate modern day versions of Phantom that people write. Like, the Phantom is in high school with Christine. It's 2012. Like, no, the Phantom doesn't belong in 2012. He belongs in the late 1800s, early 1900s, like the plot of the first one and the second one are. What the fuck is he doing? No. Get rid of that. Seriously. If you're going to make a Phantom story, fiction-wise, in my opinion, make it have something to do with the original plot. If you want to put a twist in it, that's fine. Don't put him in a new millennium. That doesn't make any sense. Like, the Phantom I know lives in a cave and lights everything up because there's no electricity. Like, what the heck are you doing in the 2000s? That's just how I feel. But yeah. So the main point of my video was that I just have a lot more appreciation for Love Never Dies Australia. Just a whole lot more. A whole lot more. Since the last video I posted, Ramin, which you know is my favorite Phantom ever, has gone on to say that he's not doing any more Phantom at all. Which kind of sucks, because he's my favorite Phantom, so having your favorite anything announce that he's not doing the thing that's your favorite anymore, it sucks. It really does suck. So, I mean, after he did say that he did go to Japan with Sierra and did promotional, I think they were doing promotional things for like the 25th anniversary performances that they did. So I think that's what they were doing. They're promoting the DVD for that. So they went to Japan and performed with one of the Phantoms and Christine's over there. But it kind of sucks that he's not doing any more Phantom. I know it for me. It's weird to see him because he's embarking on his whole music career, and he like after hearing him sing as the Phantom all this time, it's weird hearing him sing like a regular person. I know that sounds so weird, but he's just like he sings folk songs and he had a music video. I believe the song was called "Coming Home" or "I'm Coming Home," and he looked beautiful in the video. And he's walking around like this forest or something. I don't know, but it's like you sound like a normal person. I want you to go back down to your lair as a Phantom and sing and sing like that. Like I don't want you to sing like a normal person. Maybe that's just me being too caught up in the Phantom. Whatever. Columbus Day is coming up, and something I wanted to do was I wanted to go to New York and see Phantom, but then I realized I'm farther away from New York now than I was when I actually lived in Philadelphia. So that would be stupid. I mean, I still will go. I still want to go see it anyway. Christmas break, I guess I could. I don't know how Georgetown works yet in terms of its academic breaks. I know when I was at Temple, I believe we got 3.5 weeks off from the end of finals toward after Christmas. Excuse me, near Christmas to the beginning of the spring semester. It was like 3.5 weeks we had off. I don't know how long we have off at this school. I'm gonna have to look that up. But if we have like if we have like a month break, I definitely want to take one of my days off and go to New York and see Phantom. Like it just dawned on me when I was here, because when you're in school, you look for stuff to do in your free time. When I was in Philly from December to right before I moved up here in August, I had a lot of free time. The only thing I did was work part-time. Especially towards the end of my stay at my job, they were giving me crappy hours. I was getting like 12 hours a week. So I really wasn't thinking about my free time because I had a lot of it. But now that I'm so geared towards thinking about my free time, I was like, I want to go to New York and see the Phantom. You could have did that when you were in Philly. You just hopped on the train and been in New York in an hour and a half or something? I don't know why. Now that I'm in D.C., I have to go through Philly to get to New York. Like, it's dumb. But anyway, yeah, so that's my new thoughts on Phantom. If there is any type of promotion for the Denmark Love Never Dies that's in English, which I doubt, but if there's anything that comes my way in English, I will definitely talk about that. I know I did see a promotional photo for it, and the person that's playing Christine looks, I don't want to say she looks really old, but she looks older than what I was expecting somebody to play Christine would look like. If you get what I'm saying. Like, if you follow, there's so many versions of the film. There's the book, there's the play, there's the movie. There's books about different authors, the play, and then the movie. And Christine is a different age in each version. To me, in every version, Eric is old. Or the Phantom, excuse me. If you just know the play, you just see him as the Phantom. But if you know the book, you know his first name is Eric. Whatever. I don't know. In the movie, Christine was 17. I believe. She was either 16 or 17. I believe in the play she's supposed to be 20. She's supposed to be 20, and in the book she's supposed to be around 22. I just know for sure, I'm not 100% sure in those ages, but I know for sure that she's a lot younger, at least 3 years younger in the movie than she is in the play and in the books. I know she's older in the play and in the books. I believe it's just by 3 years. I believe. Because a lot of people who there's those Phantom fans that completely hate the movie. They think the movie is just a piece of ass. I don't feel that way, of course, but they're like, oh, why is Christine so young and compared to the Phantom? There's always been the premise that the Phantom was at least 15 years older than her. At least 15. Anywhere between 15 and 20 years older than her. So there's always been that half aspect that, oh my God, he likes this girl that's half his age. That's always been there. But there's always a debatable thing about how old Christine actually is. I I mean, 17 sounds kind of young. It does. If she had been 16, the Phantom would have been a pedophile. So yeah, her being that young kind of bothers me. But when the movie came out, I had only saw the play once. So I really loved everything and anything that dealt with the movie. Now that I've seen the play a few more times and have done some more studying about the Phantom in general, not just the play, you know, I'm not as addicted to the movie as I was before. But like, how old do I want Christine to be? I guess she can be. I don't want her to be like 20. I don't know. I guess I do want her kind of young because in the original Phantom, there's that whole Christine is naive thing, and the whole revelation of the Phantom to her as a person instead of just this mythical, magical figure that sings in her head at night. Like he actually becomes a man, and she has sexual feelings and all of that stuff. So I want her kind of young. I mean, in your early 20s, it's not like that it couldn't happen, but hopefully you're a bit more mature than you were when you were a teenager, and you can start figuring stuff out. I would be very ashamed if I was 20 years old and think somebody was singing in my head. Like, no. Even 16, that's kind of bad, but I would rather her be younger and have her believe that than her be older. So I guess I will go with the movie version of Christine and her being 16 or 17. I believe she was 17 in the movie, and Emmy Rossum, who played her in the movie, was 16 when she was playing her. So the actress was 16. The character was supposed to be 17. I believe that's how it went. But also, another question I want to answer before I end this video, because I know it's really, really late. Some people had asked me, would I mind if Love Never Dies became an actual movie? And no, I wouldn't mind. I would absolutely love that. I would. Here's my only problem with that. If there's going to be a Love Never Dies movie, I would want Emmy and Gerald. Or just Gerald. Excuse me, Gerard. His name is Gerard Bartlett. I don't know why I call him Gerald. I want Emmy and Gerard to play the characters they played in the original film. But I don't think Emmy and Gerard can carry the notes that the Phantom and Christine carry in Love Never Dies. Especially the Phantom singing Till I Hear You Sing. I do not think Gerard can do that. Now, before I probably would have thought he could because I hadn't heard of a person named Ramin Karimloo. But now that I've heard of a person named Ramin Karimloo and I've heard him hit those notes, I don't want Gerard screwing that up. So unless he gets singing lessons or something, I know he can't hit those notes. As for Emmy, I know she's a soprano, but I don't know what her exact range is. So I don't know. I mean, Christine really doesn't have too many like really high notes in Love Never Dies, except for she has a really, really high note at the end of the song Love Never Dies. But throughout the whole play, I don't think she has like. I mean, there's at points when you would need a really good trained singer to sing those parts, and Emmy Rossum is a really good trained singer. I don't know if she's at that level yet. Like, she's not Sierra. Hell no. So, I mean, my ultimate dream cast for a movie version of Love Never Dies would be Ramin and Sierra. That's like a duh. But I would love for Gerard and Emmy just to continue their roles with it. Especially Gerard, he would need like major singing lessons before that would happen. So, I don't. Would I want a movie? Yes. Would I want to play the characters? In a perfect world, Ramin and Sierra. If that answers the question that I was asked before. That's really all I have to say. If anything new in terms of Love Never Dies or the Phantom pops up, I will post a video on it, or I will try to anyway. Georgetown keeps me quite busy, so I will try to. Anybody has any questions, comments, any thoughts? Should I make a video on this? You know, stuff that I had suggested before. If you have anything for me or would like me to talk about anything, because I love talking about the Phantom, let me know in a comment or send me a message. People have been sending me messages too, which is great. They're like, hey, you didn't mention this in such and such video. Why don't you talk about that? That's great. So, send me either a message or comment on this video or any of my other videos, really, and I will get a notification of it and try to post a video. All right, that's it. I love you guys. I'll put my Twitter and Tumblr and all that wonderful stuff in the info box below so you can contact me. Have a wonderful weekend, and if I don't post a video for a long time, and if that is the case, I apologize. Have a wonderful fall. Bye-bye.